This is not us making this up. This is actual reporting of Jerry Jones talking about being a general manager. I've done it all, okay? So I have an inordinate amount of confidence that, if anybody can figure out how to get this shit done, I can figure out how to get it done, John said. I've been there every which way from Sunday. And have I busted my ass a bunch? A bunch. And there's nobody living that out cutting and out shooting that can give you a bunch of times they busted their ass. So hell no. There's nobody that could fucking come in here and do all the contracts and be a GM any better than I can. Now, Jerry, congrats on talking your shit.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Think about the decades and decades of the people and fans saying Jerry needs to get his hands out of the team's business. Ever since Jerry has started running things, we haven't been good. He got rid of Jimmy, and then nobody's able to check Jerry. And Jerry's just got his little fingers and everything. He's making decisions. He's drafting from the yacht. He's cutting people. He's negotiating deals. He's calling plays sometimes. Shit, he will get out there and throw the ball himself if he wants to. That is what people say. That's why the Cowboys haven't been good. So if this is a new interview or if this is Clarence Hill Jr. writing about something that happened back in the day, it's like, shout out to Jerry Jones just finally telling everybody, hey, eat shit. Just want to let you know that. AJ, how do you
eat shit? Jerry Jones just said. Well, hello, good people. This is number 5 for the day. We got 5 on it. Jerry Jones up here saying, how you like me now? How you like me now? Yeah, he's saying, how you like me now? Here's what I told you in my last video, which is actually uploading as we speak. I'm getting ready, waiting for the wife to get back here so we can head up the road, and we're going to be doing this. We're going to do the Dirty Dozen today. We doing the Dirty Dozen videos today, okay? Yeah. We doing the Dirty Dozen. We going to get this thing done today. I told you that everybody is going to poo-poo. All of the talking heads are going to poo-poo the Dallas Cowboys making this move. Oh, this is stupid. After saying that the Cowboys need to get a legitimate wide receiver, after talking for weeks that, the Cowboys might be trying to trade for it and all that, now they're saying, oh, man, he's uncoachable. And here's where I find it kind of funny because Jordan Lewis, man, you know what? Jordan Lewis is literally, I don't know what happened. He has truly become the anti-Dallas Cowboy. He's like Chris Canty. Okay, he's literally, Jordan Lewis has turned into Chris Canty. And he said, he tweeted out, with the link to that the Cowboys are trading for Pickens, and said, God wanted me in Jacksonville. As in, like, I want to get away from, some Sodom and Gomorrah here, the Dallas Cowboys. You know what, Jordan Lewis, I hope you have fun in Duval. Yeah, have fun with that shit. Have fun with Duval. Yeah, good luck with that, chump. But check this out. Because while I'm sitting here getting the other video uploaded, I love it. Yeah, the Cowboys, they're stupid. First of all, you knock them because you say, well, the Cowboys, they don't care about winning. They don't make any moves, okay? They don't spend any money, blah, blah, okay. Then they start making them. Oh, these moves are stupid. Oh, my God. How stupid is this? Okay, you're taking a chance. Here's what's kind of crazy. Here's what's kind of crazy that people don't understand. Yes, you're taking a chance on a 24-year-old wide receiver that in 3 years has 2,800 yards in receiving. There are some issues with him, okay? There are some issues up here in the head with showing up on time. I get that. But the chance you're taking is a $3.6 million cap hit. See, my thing is this. I don't mind giving up one of two things for a player. Money or draft capital, okay? I don't want to give up both for those. I don't want to give up both. Now, Pittsburgh gave up both to get DK Metcalf, right? Washington, they got Deebo Samuels, a guy who's been going downhill for the last 3 years, who, when his team really needed him because they lost Brandon Ayuk, didn't perform. So as we look at this, in the grand scheme of things, the knock on George Pickens isn't the ability. It isn't an injury. It's his attitude off the field. Maybe we can fix that. Deebo Samuels has got injuries and attitude. And being in shape because he looked like he was pregnant last year. So is this a bad move for the Cowboys, but Debo Samuels was a good move for Washington? Was DK Metcalf a great move that's got to pay him a boatload of money and give up higher draft capital? We only gave up a third. But let's go to the tape here. Let's go to I'm living my best life right now. Let's go to it.
Cowboys were in the hunt to look for a wide receiver this entire offseason. They had not made that move yet. They finally do, and I will tell you that the Steelers have been looking at their wide receiver room for quite some time. They tried to get Brandon Ayuk last year in a deal from San Francisco. It didn't come to be. Instead, they traded a second-round pick for DK Metcalf and then gave him a $30 million a year contract. George Pickens entering the final year of his contract. And I would like to correct some people. Some people think that he is a diva or he's cantankerous. I talked to the Steelers folks. George Pickens is demonstrative on the field, but he is not an uncoachable player. In fact, he does have a great way about him in the locker room and is very well liked in Pittsburgh. For the Dallas side of this, they sat on an all draft. Everyone wondering, why are they not drafting a wide receiver? Why are they not drafting a running back? They took an offensive lineman. They get a player who I think is the best available prospect for a third-round pick, and then they can decide if they want to re-sign him or not. The Cowboys were in.
All right, so that's my take on it. That's my take on it. Because, see, here was my thought going into the draft. I wanted the Cowboys to go for a plug-and-play wide receiver right now. I wanted somebody that I can say they can play. I don't want to have to go through and say, and this is no disrespect to Jonathan Mingo, no disrespect to him at all, but I didn't want to go ahead and say, yeah, well, this guy could turn it around and hasn't been proven that he can turn it around, or say, oh, we got Jalen Tolbert, who we may actually have at the peak right now of what we're going to get with Jalen Tolbert. I wanted a guy who's experienced, that's ready day one, because we have a tough schedule. We don't know how it's going to lay out. We'll find out next week exactly when and where we're playing everybody. It may be the Eagles week one. You may look at this, and this may be where the NFL says, oh, my God, this is the new improved Cowboys, that they want to come in and have a splash going against the Super Bowl contenders. The Super Bowl champions. And this is the game to start the season. We don't know that. But I wanted the Cowboys to get that receiver that's experienced. I was okay with getting the running back because running backs come out the box better as rookies than a wide receiver does. And to me, it's a great move. Now, it could all blow up in our face, but everything else can. So let's get another one here.
The Cowboys are willingly stepping into a potential problem because
Gatorade.
Nothing else. They had to. It was necessity. It was either bring back Amari Cooper or sign one of these other guys who are still available for a reason, like a Keenan Allen. We talked about both of them the other day.
Right.
Or you go with the guy that has the potential to give you a boost this year, and then maybe you figure out next year when next year comes. And here's the other side of it, too. The compensatory draft pick formula is very complicated, but Pickens would strike me as a guy who, if he leaves and if you're in position to qualify for compensatory draft picks because you didn't go on a spending spree and sign a bunch of guys in 2026 free agency, you're going to get a third-round pick for Pickens in 2027. So the Steelers are getting a third-round pick for him in 26. Today. It's almost like he's already left as a free agent, and that's your compensatory draft pick.
Right.
With the asterisk that it's not at the bottom of the round where the compensatory picks are, and if the Cowboys aren't very good this year, you may get a top 10 in round 3 selection. So there is a benefit to getting the Cowboys pick.
Top 10? So you're saying the Cowboys are going to be asset? Wait, well, hold on.
It makes the Cowboys more interesting. Does it make the Cowboys better? I don't know how much.
Wait. As bad as we were with 7 wins this past season, we were 12th. So you're saying now we're going to have less wins probably than what we had last year with all the moves? Oh, come on, man. This is some. See, I told you, the haters are coming out.
Better it really makes them because we don't know how he's going to play, how it's going to work, because he's still going to be second fiddle in Dallas. It's just a new environment for him. It's a clean slate with a first-year coach who I don't know. You think he was the driving force for this? No, it was Jerry.
Right? I love this.
I think it was the Jones family altogether.
I love it.
And they wanted to make a splash move. They probably
Love the
felt like,
haters.
this was a player that could really make them competitive and change their football team. And I don't, I agree with that to a degree. I think, yes, George Pickens at his best here. Right, the Cowboys. We know there's some talent on the football team and some playmakers in a key position.
God, they hate the
we still
Cowboys.
got the Micah Parsons contract that's got to get figured out while we're making a trade for George Pickens, and he's going to want a new contract, like we talk. So that's going to make things interesting as well. But on the field, I have a hard time thinking it's not going to make them better. I mean, Dak Prescott's a pretty good down-the-field thrower of the football. You put him and CeeDee Lamb on the outside, as far as Pickens and CeeDee Lamb on the outside, you got something shaking there, right? And it should open up the field. They have decent tight end play with Ferguson, right? Running back, we know, is a little bit of an issue. They're kind of trying to retool on the run, it almost feels like. A little bit like we talked about with the 49ers and John Lynch yesterday. They had a good draft. There are some young guys on that defense that are super talented, and I could see them being a pain in the butt on defense. When you look at their roster and their starters, and if they reach their potential, you go, that's a damn good group. We know the secondary's good. The D-line should still be a pretty big pain in the butt. And their linebackers are athletic and okay. But now we get to the offensive side of the ball, and when we play really good teams, and we saw last year when they played really good teams, everybody knew it was CeeDee Lamb, and it was like, okay, this team's learned how to take him away here late in the second quarter. What's the next option for the Cowboys? And there was never anybody that could go above and beyond just the basic play in the playbook, and George Pickens will be able to do that, and I think that's what's going to make them a much more dangerous offensive team.
Much more dangerous.
Refreshing my memory on some of the more recent developments with George Pickens, at least since the season.
Here comes the
and
haters.
The question he was asked on the way out the door after they lost to the Ravens in the playoffs.
Right.
Does it make him optimistic? At first, he was asked if he's seen growth in the offense. Yeah, I've seen signs for sure. From the past first year I've been here, just way more growth for sure. Does that make you optimistic going forward? Nah. That was his answer. So that was the first sign that something wasn't right. And then, remember, the reports started to come out that he was late on the Christmas Day game against the Chiefs. And remember how the Christmas Day game against the Chiefs ended.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce being interviewed by Stacey Dales on the Netflix broadcast. In comes George Pickens. Hey, take me with you. It had that vibe.
So,
we have no idea what he said, but that thing had a, hey, take me with you vibe to it. And we talked about that. And then he unfollowed the Steelers on social media, and we pushed back against the curmudgeons who act like that stuff doesn't mean anything.
It's so
of course
funny.
It does. Because now I see some of the same people who were saying that stuff doesn't mean anything, saying he didn't ask for a trade. Bullshit. He made it clear he didn't want to be there. Through his actions, through his words, he didn't want to be there. And
there you go.
The Steelers knew that when they traded for DK Metcalf. And it was, to me, that's why
You think they did know that, though? You think they really
I
did?
think they knew he didn't want to be there. I think, unless they're dumb, they didn't. How do you not, if you're living with the guy and he's constantly complaining about wanting the ball, because, again, I'm assuming behind the scenes is 10 times worse than the stuff that we see in here.
No, I hear you there. And again, I don't have answers here. And this caught me by surprise this morning. So, it's not something that I've dug into behind the scenes and texted anybody with and have any inside info, right? But with the Pickens situation, I do wonder.
I mean,
I know they're not dumb. Right? But I also know that they've dealt with personalities and, oh, gosh, he's a receiver, blah, 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 blah. We'll soothe it over. We'll massage it. We'll make it work. And I just wonder how much, right? I saw the reports that you're referring to. People say he didn't ask for a trade. Okay, he didn't ask for a trade. But, yeah, did it get to the point to what you're saying to where it was so?
Okay, we'll end it right there. Like I said, the haters are coming out right now and basically saying this is a dumb move for the Cowboys. I'm sorry. This is a no-risk, high-reward. I mean, granted, we don't want to give up third-round picks. I mean, we got Savon Ravel with that one. But here's the thing. You got a playmaking wide receiver who is $3.6 million for a third-round pick, who's only 24 years old, who will be motivated to get his next contract. Sorry. This one is very low risk and potentially high reward. Haters, keep hating. This is 5. 5 on it.